Right, we're going to do the same, but we're going to look into something called prototypes and the filter. We already tried prototyping with sort and reverse and so on, and we're going to do one with filter now. And it's basically kind of what we did before with if we just look at the code here, what we did here with allow to string, creating a for loop, going a loop through the array as long as it's true, creating the if statement, and then pushing all this information into the new array. So it's only printing that part and not printing the others, of course. So if we look what a filter is up here, it says filter method creates a new array with all elements that pass the test implemented by the provided function. So we're going to do something similar. I'm just going to copy this. Actually, I'm just going to copy most of it, and then we'll change it. So in our code, in our WebStorm, we'll just delete this variable because we're using our ages up here, but same principle. We'll leave this until I change it so it fits. So instead of results, I wanted to print, what was it, allow to drink. I'm spelling badly, allow to drink. That was the name of our console log before that we want to print up here. So that's the first part. We now change this to what we did before. And instead of words, we need to change what we want to call, and we want to call our array. So instead of words, which is here, we are going to call ages, and we're going to use the prototype of filter to change what it actually is we're going to do. So remove those which statement isn't true anymore. Instead of word, we are going to use our, what was it in here? Was it word and words, right? So they use words for the word that are here, and then they use the word to store the data in the variable or let or constant that they're going to use. And we are going to be stored in, let's just say age, so it fits along ages and age, words and words. And then we're going to change the word here as well. It's going to calculate the length of our age like this, and which needs to be higher equal to, let's go with 50. So it should print out 3 or something like this. And of course we need to change our result to this. So let's try to see what happens when we run this in our page, and it should print out 0. That's weird. It's probably because we don't want the length there. It's like this. And there we go. We don't care about the length. It's going to calculate that by itself because it's already numbers, where this is a string. So we're just doing this, all this code, these 5 lines of code in 1 line of code. And I'm just going to rewrite it real quick. So step by step what I did. So we create a constant. We gave it a name, allow to drink. We're setting it or assigning a value of the ages, so the array up here. We wanted to filter that array, so only print out what we wanted to. We're going to create the parentheses for the filter, and as you can see down here, there's a callback function here that says value number, index number, and array number, and a boolean. And a boolean is, in this case, is it true or false? And if it's true or false, then you're going to do a specific thing. So we want it to be true if the number is higher than a specific set, like 18 or 21, wherever you are. So let's try to punch it. We're going to use, the first one was, if I can get it back, I can't. But we're going to pass in the item. This could be, instead of age, we can also say item, if that helps. Then we're going to use this arrow here. This is new. This is called a fat arrow notation, and basically what it is, it's creating a function. So if you go back a video or two where we did something similar with the for each, if you remember that one, we did function and parentheses items, or I think it was dog, and then in a console log we did dog.name. So this is basically the same, but instead of writing function, we just use this fat arrow notation here to create it, so we have to write less code. So item, and then we're going to use that specific, the value of this is what it's going to be using for the true or false statement, so the boolean here. And that again equals, if it's the correct way, equals or higher to, let's just go back to 18. Then you're going to print out, I'm just deleting this now, then you are going to print out those that are true. So if they're true, then print it out, just as it says in here. So create a new array with all the elements that passes the test. So passes the test means, is it true? By the provided function we created. And the function was here. So if it's true, shoot it in, push it into the array, and then click save. go to our title, go here, and now we get the 11 different that is equal or higher to 18. So this is how we can use the filter instead of creating our own for loop that has to go through and push into our new array. Does the same thing, but just with shorter code with a prototype called filter instead.